Ooh, ah, those are gorgeous, darling.
Yep.
They are. So
Chris did a really good job on them.
yes, he did. He did indeed. So these new hatch covers should last certainly our lifetime.
And,
I don't think we'll be having to do them again.
well, the other ones are... God, did I get those before you and I met? I think they've been on there the whole time you've been...
Jesse made them, I think, right before I came aboard.
Yeah, it's so 25 years.
Yeah. And then we had them redone when we were in Friday Harbor.
Well, I redid them, but
yeah.
yeah, they were delaminating, so I opened them up a little bit and injected some epoxy and then clamped them back down and then refinished them with Cetal.
Yeah, and those lasted for, what, another...
Well, that was in 2009, and we from there we sailed to Hawaii with them.
Yeah. That patch worked quite well, but after this
we
last couple of winters here, it's not going to work again.
I can't remember the last time we refinished them, if it was in 2010 while we were in Seattle, or if it was, I think, was it?
No, it was Friday. No, it was Friday Harbor.
Friday Harbor.
Yeah,
so yeah, so the last time those were done was 2009-10, around in there. So it's been at least 10 years. I mean, there's not much left of the finish, but they still work.
Yeah.
As far as, you know, sealing the cockpit lockers up. They just don't look good.
Taking advantage of Chris's craftsmanship while we're here.
And now I'm going to get him, I have to talk to him, I'm going to get him to do the countertops.
Yeah.
That same process, but we'll do those with oak. Those are Sapelli. The cockpit
and
lids
so,
are...
just for my benefit and everybody's benefit, how did Chris do those?
Those are the same plywood we use for all our bulkheads, the Okumi marine plywood, 10 millimeter plywood, and 10 millimeter thickness, or 3/8 of an inch thickness of Sapelli lumber, solid Sapelli on top. So it's laminated with West System epoxy, and then a layer of 4-ounce glass cloth laminated on the outside, on the top, and on the bottom. So it's fiberglass sheath, epoxy, laminated Sapelli on Okumi. Pretty strong and beautiful.
And gorgeous. Now we're just going to get them all taped up and do the non-skid. And
work your magic.
copy previous pattern, I think. Pretty close. There might be a small change here and there, but the general pattern is pleasing to the eye, so I think I'll stick with that.
Yeah, we can do something similar to that. Yeah. Whatever, it's all you, babe. You do whatever you want. It'll be good.
All right, so we just picked up our bicycles, and I think we're certainly going to start biking back and forth to work here shortly, and kind of upping our game a little bit, getting a little bit more.
Yeah, got our shipment from
to go play.
Got our shipment from Fishery Supply yesterday, so today I'm going to change out the running rigging.
Yeah, and I think end of day today we're going to bring the quarantine flag down, start fresh tomorrow morning.
Now.
Yeah, we could. As soon as we get back to the boat. How's that?
All right, fine.
All right,
but
right
now we're going over to the hardware store?
Yeah, go get some new bicycle locks. Our other ones have kind of all rusted up. And
well, yours is, mine isn't.
Ah, well, okay. Mine needs to be replaced. Alrighty, well, here we go.
All right.
Projects. Sun just went behind a cloud. It was all bright and beautiful out just a moment ago.
That's good. It's
Psych.
easier for me to see.
Alright, so working on the topping lift first? Working on the topping lift?
Well, I'm just getting this stuff ready to work with.
Oh,
just coming right off the spool here.
Diesel in the water.
Yeah,
we can't see it. It's all shiny. Okay.
This came from the mill with taped and melted end. But I like to do an old-fashioned palm and needle whipping on them. Never fails. And you don't have to worry about a big blob of hard plastic on the end of your rope. Whip through the...
Because they all come undone eventually.
Come whipping through your hands. Well,
unless
these
it's
don't.
unless it's whipped, yeah.
These don't. If you do it this way, they won't come undone. Nice and neat.
Ooh, what a beautiful Sunday. This should have been Little Norway Sunday.
Should have been the Little Norway
Would have
Festival,
been
yeah.
pancake breakfast over at Sons of Norway Hall this morning. Oh well.
No, not this year.
So it's mighty quiet around town.
Yeah. Oh, there's my palm. Ouch.
Alright, so you're working on this out here, and I'm going to pop down below. I have some coffee on. My honey treated me to a little miniature bottle of Bailey's.
I may come down and get some coffee later. Where's my palm?
I don't know, it should be in there. So I'm going to go have a Bailey's and coffee, and leave you out on deck, and I'm going to be tidying down below.
Okay.
All right. Love you, darling.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Ah, there it is. There it is. Okay. There we go. Yeah, perfect. Alright, old topping lift. I made out of some leftover Stayset X about 10 years ago. Not that long. New topping lift. This is 3-strand polyester, same size rope. What we're going to do is we're going to marry these two together. They called marrying the two together. They both already have their palm and needle whipping on. This is the old one, this is the new one.
And where are we going to do that, Chuck?
Well, this is because we're going to change the halyard. We're going to put a new halyard in.
And if you don't do that, what happens?
Well, eventually the old one will break. Eventually, but you want to change them before that happens, you know?
No, I mean marrying them together.
What? Oh, this is just so that they will reeve through the block up there. You connect the two of them together, and then run them through the block. Tie a knot in the ends. Now, people have done this with tape. You know, hook the two of them together with tape. I would not be tempted to do that. Because when it gets up to the block up there, you may well just lose both of them.
Or the tape will stick in the block.
Well, the tape sticks in the block and both ends come flying down.
Flying down, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of different ways we've seen this done over the years, and really it takes the time to do it right. That happened to us in Hawaii. Remember?
Well, yeah, that was
when our,
the sailmaker.
Yep.
Decided to take a shortcut.
And this does take probably an extra, 7 or 10 minutes to get this done, but boy oh boy, it takes a lot longer and it's a lot more expensive sometimes.
Well, if you don't do it this way, that is to say pull the new halyard through on the end of the old one, then what happens is you have to either take the mast down or climb up, one of the two. Got to go up there to get through the block. Probably what I ought to do here at this point is throw some tape on here just to stabilize it a little bit. Okay, so let me duck down inside, get some tape, and cut this off here. This. There Okay, get some tape and stick on here and just to stabilize that for a bit. Put my needle back in here so we don't lose it. All right. Be right back.
Well, here comes the sun again. Woohoo! Sun came back.
Alrighty. Okay, so in theory this should work. In theory. What I wanted you to see here is how I've joined the two rope ends together by stitching some sail twine and holding them together like that. Now that's not very stable. You can see if you pull it up over the block, it's likely to do that. So I'm going to wrap it with some tape so that it'll reeve through the block without capsizing and jamming up there. Alright, so we wrap it with blue tape, and this is what we wind up with. Nice and smooth, it won't capsize, it'll reeve right nicely through the block without hanging up.
Alright, almost ready?
Yeah, but first I have to gather up all my tools, put them in the bag. In the bag.
Instead of...
In the bag. And move the bag away from the coil of rope. Because, guess how I know that? Okay.
How do you know that, Chuck?
Rope's going to start flying around, tools are going to go everywhere.
So, unfortunately I can either help
I know,
or...
I need you to put the camera down and go back there and grab the other end of the halyard.
Alright.
Okay, can you do that, honey?
Yep, I can.
All
Be
right.
right there.
Well, we got the new running rigging on. I'm very happy about that. But the old girl really needs some paint. And the weather conditions are just not going to allow it anytime soon. I don't know what we're going to do about that. We'll go down to Wrangle. I mean, it's only cosmetic, but we want to replace all the port lights and get a coat of paint on the deck. I'd really like to paint the whole thing, but I don't know if we can manage that yet or not. My birthday was yesterday. I'm 21 years past my best by date. 71 years old. Amazing, to me anyway, that I lived this long. Imagine that. A whole bunch of years ago, back in the 90s, I read a book called The 500-Year Delta by a futurist named Watts Wacker and his partner, whose name I can't remember because, I mean, Watts Wacker, how can you forget a name like that? I also attended a seminar that featured Mr. Wacker, and he had some interesting things to say, but the thing that stuck with me most was that he talked about the acceleration of the rate of change. So, you know, the old saying, change is here to stay, and that's true. But have you noticed that things are changing faster and faster? The accelerated rate of change is exponential. Isn't that interesting? So things changing as they are. We've been on YouTube now for over 10 years, and it's time for us to make some changes. One of the things we want to do is stop monetizing our videos. So we're just going to stop putting ads in them, stop allowing ads in our videos that are on YouTube, and we're going to rely solely on Patreon for to recoup our expenses and to help out a little bit with cash flow. We're also considering going to Locals. The Locals platform has been suggested to us, so we're going to explore that. But the income from advertising revenue in YouTube has dropped off so much that it's not even worth bothering with anymore. So we don't like ads anyway. We don't like ads when we're watching videos. We're sure you don't like ads either. We're just not going to do it anymore. If you want to kick a few bucks our way, there's a couple of ways to do it. PayPal from our website, or at Patreon. And maybe at Locals. We'll see about that. Changing with the times or against the times, but one way or another, change is going to happen.